I told you yesterday that Portland's Housing Commissioner Dan Ryan is opening up on this week's edition of Straight Talk with Laurel Porter, and they talked about a number of issues tied to homelessness. Among them, they drilled down on questions we here on The Story had about those 6 safe rest villages that were supposed to open this year but have now been delayed until sometime in 2022. Now, several times we have heard that a key reason for these delays on this project was neighborhood pushback. The city has chosen 3 sites so far. One along Southwest NATO. The second is the former Jerome F. Sears Army Reserve Center along Southwest Multnomah Boulevard. And the third is the Menlo Park and Ride at Southeast 122nd and Burnside. They have 3 more to go after that. All of those sites, though, all the ones we have so far, sit near schools, businesses, homes. And with each selection, we've heard from neighbors like Jim Widener.
They're just dropping it in our laps and saying, deal with it. And it's putting a hardship on everybody.
Okay, but we've got to be honest here. I mean, who didn't see pushback from neighbors coming? Who didn't see that coming? 6+ years into a housing crisis. We know that happens with every shelter selection, every village site. Neighbors nearby are usually anxious or angry. So was that really, we wondered, not taken into account when the city promised to open these villages by the end of the year? Well, last week, after announcing this latest delay, the city revealed another reason that we hadn't heard before. The commissioner's office wrote in a statement, quote, "Our work has been complicated by restrictions to the use of American Rescue Plan Act funds." For reference, those are federal funds the city is using to pay for these villages. They have said they want to put $20 million toward these villages total. So wait a minute, we thought, I mean, that's a new one. That's a new reason. So how big are these restrictions? That was the one line referencing that in that press release. How big are the restrictions? And is that funding source in jeopardy? And in short, is that, we wondered, the reason for the delay? So Laurel Porter, again, had the commissioner on Straight Talk this week, and she asked him that question.
What are those problems? What are the restrictions? And are you going to be able to use that $20 million?
The answer is yes. The difference between the rescue dollars that were from the previous administration and the ARPA dollars are, the good news is that you can expend the resources for multiple years. So you can treat the crisis with a little bit more strategic long-term visioning and planning. The more challenge is that there's just a little bit more accountability to the process. And so there's just more checks and balances and more details to check off. So it slows down the process a little bit.
All right, so to put a slightly finer point on this, the commissioner's team also sent us a response via email writing, "These are federal grant funds from the U.S. Treasury, which come with very comprehensive rules, regulations, and reporting requirements that take time to learn and understand, more so than other federal grants have been during the pandemic." They added, "We've just recently finalized the data and reporting standards." And then they capped it off by saying, "Yes, we will be using American Rescue Plan Act funds for the Safe Rest Villages and are grateful for the federal assistance." So in other words, yes, it seems like it's a mess of factors slowing things down. But yes, the city says these villages will open hopefully next year. If and when they do, they are expected to get 300+ people off of Portland streets.